Scouters! Everyone here at Scouting University wants your experience to be as fun, educational, and stress-free as possible. So we're here to let you know what to expect on the day of Scouting U.
For a quick note, if you're driving to campus, parking should not be a problem. You'll be able to park in Harmon Avenue and Union parking garages, as well as any student or faculty parking lots that are free. I recommend Harmon parking, as it's the closest to the most of where Scouting U is going to be taking place. Once you're on campus, the first thing you need to do is check in. Check-in for all instructors and volunteers begins at 7 a.m. in the Electrical Engineering Lounge on the 3rd floor of Bell Engineering Center. We'll have plenty of signs around the building to point you in the right direction. This is where we'll be setting up Scouting U headquarters, and I know it's early, but we'll have water, soda, and coffee for you at check-in. Also at check-in, you will be receiving your Scouting U t-shirt and instructor's packet. Many instructors choose to wear the t-shirt while teaching, but it is not necessary.
Speaking of the instructor packet, it'll look something like this. It'll be in a manila folder with your course label on it, and it's going to have a lot of information that you'll want to use throughout the day. It will have a campus map with buildings relevant to you circled or highlighted. It will have a room assignment list. It will have a breakdown of everything that we're going to cover in this video, just for reference, and a contact info sheet. This will have the numbers of workers in headquarters, the medical center, and all the head runners with your particular building's head runner highlighted. We'll explain more about head runners later. You'll also find some class materials. If you're teaching a Boy Scout course, you'll find merit badge workbooks for all your students. Not every teacher uses these, but some find it helpful. You'll also find merit badge requirements and badge requirements if you're teaching a Girl Scout course. Master and student completion sheets, which will look something like this, and we'll go over later. Also a class roster.
After you check in, you'll go to your assigned class and begin setting up and prepping for your course, whatever you need to do. But at 8:30, all secondary instructors need to report to the Greek Theater while the primary instructors continue to prep. At the Greek Theater, the secondaries will wait until the end of opening ceremonies to take their scouts to their respective classrooms. This will be done by announcing something like all scouts in archaeology to the north corner, architecture to the south, and art up the middle aisle. Once the correct number of scouts have lined up with the appropriate secondary instructor, the secondary instructor will then lead them to their room. This process will continue until all scouts are being led to class. Please note, if there's a lot of prep for your course, and you can't sacrifice your secondary to do this, let us know, and we'll have a runner sent to go pick up your tickets.
The first session of class begins at 9 a.m. You'll begin by taking roll using your class roster, making sure to note any scout that isn't present. These will be collected by your building's runners around 9:15 and given to headquarters.
This seems like a good idea to explain what runners are. Though it will vary, most buildings will have 2 runners and 1 head runner. Runners are essentially errand runners for the building to get you whatever you need, and head runners are, as they are aptly named, the head of runners. So, for example, say you run out of pencils. You, most likely your secondary, will get out your contact sheet from the packet and you will find your head runner's number and give them a call. You'll tell them what you need and then they'll send one of their runners to get it, and hopefully not too long after you'll have the pencils that you do need.
Runners will also be delivering your lunch. Around 11:30 a.m. they will come to headquarters to pick up the lunches and begin distributing these throughout their building. The first session of class officially ends at noon when lunch begins. You'll then have an hour to eat, and the second session of class will begin at 1 p.m. This next part is going to be a little different depending on what course you're teaching. If you're teaching a full-day course, your students will eat in the classroom, and when 1 o'clock rolls around, you'll just hop right back into teaching. If you're teaching a half-day course, your students will eat in the classroom, but your secondary instructor will need to have them back at the Greek Theater at 12:45 p.m. We'll go through the same process of getting them to the right class that they went through in the morning. Your secondary instructor will then lead your new group of scouts back to class where you can begin teaching at 1.
Roll will need to be taken in the afternoon session for all courses and will be picked up by runners at 1:15 p.m. When class ends at 4 p.m., secondaries will lead the scouts to the Greek Theater for closing ceremonies. Once this is finished, the secondary just needs to check out at headquarters before leaving. While they do this, primaries will need to take care of a little bit of paperwork.
This is when those completion sheets come into play. You'll fill out the master one, this purple one, first. This is the one that Scouting University keeps on record. You'll then fill out the individual scout ones, which will be blue. They both show, what merit badge requirements you fulfilled, and you just check off which ones you did, and the ones that we don't expect you to do will be blacked out. Girl Scouts are a little more flexible on how you fulfill your objectives, so you'll see, objective 1 and then the options, and you just check whichever option. For adventure courses, you'll have certificates to sign with the scouting name and troop.
You'll probably want to do this paperwork in your classroom, but once it's completed, you'll bring all sheets to headquarters for a checkout. Anything that's left in the rooms, our runners will take care of cleaning up, so you don't have to worry about that. Now, if you brought any materials with you that you're taking with you, please let us know in the morning, and we'll make sure that those are kept with you. And we'll make sure that the room isn't cleaned until after you've collected all of your belongings, and we can assign a runner to help you transport those if you need. Once you've checked out and have everything you need, you are free to go. A few days after scouting you, we'll be sending out a survey asking what you liked, what you didn't like, and hope that you can give us some feedback about your entire experience.
You'll be able to find all of this information in your instructor packet. This video was just meant to give you an idea of what to expect. We're all so excited to be working with you, and if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to contact us.
Thank you.